Hello and welcome everyone in another episode of Researcher Celebrity. Today we have Dr. R.S. Sharma with us, and this is our special 200th episode. So that was the reason why we chose to have an eminent scientist with us in Dr. Sharma's space. So a brief introduction of Dr. Sharma. He has done his bachelor's in zoology honors from Modi College, Modi Nagar, UP, and then for master's and PhD, he attended DAV College, Muzaffarnagar, UP, and did his of these degrees in zoology with specialization in entomology. Then he joined National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program from state and served the country for the whole of his life and retired from the headquarters of NVBDCP New Delhi. With this brief introduction, we'll say thank you so much, Dr. Sharma, for taking time out for having this conversation with us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we start this conversation that how and when you decided that you want to become a researcher.
So that was a failure of my life, and I take some knowledge from my failure. Actually, I was studying in 12th with biology stream, and after 12th, actually in my district, home district is Faridabad. So that time there was no BSc biology sciences. So my parents said that you should go, if you want to go do the BSc, you have to go to some distance place. But my brother said, "Oh, no need, you are small one. So kindly go to nearby Faridabad. There is a arts stream is there. Art stream is English, political science, and Sanskrit. There are three subjects. I entered in a BA. You can say Bachelor of Arts. So that was my biggest failure. And after 1 year, when I was my exam over, so I got information that your all college result, you have copied from one another, so your result is not out. This was the biggest failure. So then I start. One of my friend in 12th, he was doing this Bachelor of Science in some Modi college. So I asked him, this is my really very bad time. So how I can get admission? So he said that on merit base they are selecting candidates in Modi College. Modi College was a private. Modi, this is a very rich man. So okay, so I did exam as well as interview also. I was surprised that that time admission was going on the basis of marks. But normally there was an interview also. So they asked me many things. So then they same question asked me, why last year you was in art side, now you are coming to science side. Very difficult to reply it. But ultimately I got admission in Bachelor of Science in honors zoology. So after first semester, I got highest marks in my class. So due to that failure, I got first division. And after that, when I did my BSc honors with first division, and again I request a friend, but now where I should go, I want to do MSc zoology, specialization in entomology. Then he said, DAV College Muzaffarnagar is a very famous college, so you should approach there. So I fill up my form for MSc, and I got admission there also. There was a very good department. Very famous zoologists were there. So I was a student of Dalila and Agrawal, very famous professors that time, Dalila and Agrawal. So I did my MSc and topped the university. I was a MSc gold medalist. So that due to failure, I got everything in my academics. That may be topper of the university. That is due to that was the failure in after 12. So sometimes in life, your failure plays a very important role in your success. And in between, I was doing PhD there in DA College itself. So after 2 years doing PhD, I got a interview call from Haryana Public Service Commission for the post of District Malaria Officer, Public Entomologist. There were 5 posts, so I got selected there on merit basis, and my merit number was 1. So I was very happy that due to my education and my all these things, so I got a gusted post directly when I was doing PhD. So I asked my guide, how now I should proceed. He said, government officer job is very difficult to get nowadays. So that is only 1 year is there. So you can now return work is already field work is already over. So you can write your thesis in Chandigarh itself. So that time I was working Chandigarh. So that was about my academic career. And after joining this government of India, 8 years I spent in Gurgaon. Gurgaon is a nearby town of Delhi. So I was a district malaria officer and biologist. My job was actually that time was a mosquito control job, like district county in US. Same thing was a district malaria officer to control vector-borne disease. So this was starting 1980, and after 8 years experience, then I entered Government of India National Vector-Borne Disease Control. That time that was a National Malaria Irrigation. So I selected through UPSC, and there was only one post. So by grace of the God and my background and hard work, so I got that position, one position through UPSC as a entomologist in National Vector-Borne. So after that, after 9 months in the same organization, there was a post of assistant director entomology, direct 5 post of assistant director entomology. And again, my background of malaria experience, so I got the post of assistant director entomology at serial number 1 with merit list and with 4 advance increment. Well, 4 years they give advance increment to me due to my experience of 8 years. So this is how I enter in this services. So this was my career pathway. And after that, I spent 36 years in vector-borne disease control program in the same office, Delhi headquarters. I was a head of the entomology and vector control department. And after 2012, so there is a one post of HOD, head of the Department of Entomology, Center for Entomology and Vector Management in National Center for Disease Control. This is same campus and our sister organizations. So our seniority was same. We have one cadre, you can say entomologist cadre. So my 2012 to 2015, I remained in National Center for Disease Control as a head of HOD of Center for Medical Entomology and Vector Management. So again, same job was there. And 2015, I superannuated from my government service in October 2015. So this is my journey of government service. And in between, I worked for WHO for 10 years as a vector control expert in Geneva. So this is from Southeast region. They have open applications. So they selected me from Southeast Asia region, where are 11 countries are there. So this was a very good achievement for me also, for my country also. So I was representing Southeast Asia region as a vector control expert group in Geneva, WHO, World Health Organization, Geneva. So in between, another thing was that I served many UN organizations, United Nations organizations. So they take me as a advisor or expert. Like Stockholm Convention on DDT alternatives. So DDT was to phase out from India. So there was a Stockholm Convention on DDT discontinued. So many countries they have discontinued because DDT was manufactured by our country, India, through Hindustan Insecticide Limited, government of undertaking. So they have taken me as a expert. In there are 4 expert groups. So they have taken me in three groups due to this DDT and DDT knowledge and DDT use in our country. So I worked for United Nations Environment Program also as an expert. And after my retirement, I worked for UNIDOA, United Nations Development Organization, as a expert, again expert. There was a 5 years project, same project on DDT phase out and DDT alternatives we have to develop in our country. So that project was, I worked for 5 years there also. So this is my background experience about entomology and vector control.
Thank you so much, sir, for the overview
So
of the journey. So, one thing which we would like to know from you and what you are like currently also seeing that the struggles as a researchers you have faced at two different levels because you have worked in field also and then in the policy and regulation also. like when phasing out DDT, which is a big issue, which was a big issue long time back, and still there are studies going on and projects for remediation. So let's start with the challenges of working as an entomologist in the field back then when there were no fancy BG Sentinel traps or so. How challenging was that? And then how did you overcome those?
When I was a biologist anti-malaria officer, so that time, because my background was a research background due to this PhD, so I was working on larvicides actually. There were some new larvicides, alternate to Tamifos and other like a BTI. They were new larvicides. So I was working on these efficacy of biolarvicides. So this is they started my research interest due to this my PhD. My PhD was on malaria transmission, on malaria vectors. So due to that background, I actually I worked in the control program, but side by side I was doing research work on vector control aspects also, entomology and vector control aspects. So I published more than 100 papers on these sub aspects. So from there, when I was attending a one interview, so there are research organization scientists were also there. So they asked me one question: How many paper you have published? Paper means research experience. So I said that time I was a very small officer at district level when I started, but that time I have published more than 20 papers, and I was selected also. So after that, I think research publication is also very important issue for in the selection of scientists. So there after that, I was regularly I was working with research organizations also, and they are also collaborating with control program in our country. So like Vector Control Research Center, National Institute of Malaria Research, and other government of ICMR institutes or universities. So I was working in collaboration with these research organizations. So that developed my interest in the field of research.
The role of collaborations. Now let's discuss that the role of collaborations, as you mentioned, that you worked with so many different collaborators and that helped you in the research publication aspect. But this generation, like the newer generation, which you have trained, either the entomologists or the molecular biologists who are working in the lab, basically. So when you trained your students, obviously that was different, but when you were actively at this level, when you were the malaria officer or when you were traveling your path, the role of collaborations, if you can explain a little bit more, that how easy or tough was that to make new collaborations?
And that is like that. At national level, we were conducting this advanced entomological course. So in that advanced entomological course, so researchers were also attending, control program personnel were also attending, and our defense personnel also attending because this is national course on advanced entomological techniques. Similarly, there were other courses also like 3 month advanced entomological course was there. 4 weeks course was malariology course, and third one is the malaria entomology course. So all these courses were the basic as well as applied research topics also. So I started the job 1988. I regularly we are imparting training to all the scientists of a country that is a research organization or control program or defense personnel also. So that was a regular activity in our organization. So we were doing like that. So I give you one example, like during COVID, we were free, and during COVID, we have conducted uh, six six month 6 month webinars, weekly webinars on Saturday, and we trained more than 300 personals. That is also a research scientist as well as other officers also. So this was like that. So we started from our organization, and after that, my retirement also, we trained entomologists, biologists of our country that they were working in the research organizations or they are working in the control programs or they are working in the other defense personnel like that. So that was I have trained mostly all the entomologists of our country as
Mhm.
my memory. So
Mhm.
new persons maybe untrained. So for new persons, again, as a I'm at present I'm a director of a foundation. So through foundation we are conducting such type of courses time to time, who are untrained vector biologists or who are working in the research organizations. So that was the regular practice till now also.
So this is for all the audience who are listening to this conversation, that the important point which Dr. Sharma just mentioned is like attending those meetings, those conferences, the courses offered by different institutions in India is the best place you can actually have opportunities for networking, to initiate new collaborations, and also to share the information, the knowledge you have gained. Because these days, when we talk about interdisciplinary research, people from different backgrounds come together, and all these inputs from diverse areas enhances the impact of your research, and collaboration always is the key for successful research. So next point which we would like to talk about is the pressure of, we touched upon publication. You mentioned that publications, how important they are for selections, for well, even for sustenance. Now we talk about publish or perish. People say that you have to publish. How you have seen that over past 5 decades this has changed, and what are your recommendations and suggestions for the researchers who are just entering into their PhDs?
So our priority should be our country, any country where we are working as a researcher. I give you example. Like suppose there is no insecticide resistant data in a country. So all researchers should help the country to generate data on insecticide resistant, on disease vectors. So this is a one important thing for every country. I'm not talking about our country, every country. So whosoever is working research, so the research should be a implementable research, or you can say translation research. That should be in use of your own community or or country. So suppose I am doing research in the particular field, and nobody understands that, and there no significance of that research work to the country. So my belief is that whatever the topic we are taking in research organizations for PhD as well as after postdoctorate also, and even we are regular working as a scientist. So you should take some research like applied research, you can say, particularly like malaria. Now malaria is in elimination mode. Okay, in our country, every country, malaria is in elimination mode in every country where disease endemicity is there. So we should take topic like that. What is the gaps and challenges? One I have already explained to you, insecticide resistance. It's very important research work. Similarly, due to use of insecticide last so many years, what is the change in behavior of the mosquito vectors? This is very important. Suppose previously a vector was endophilic, and now this may be exophilic, or endophagic or exophagic. I think this is I can, if you allow me, I can tell this what I'm using these words. So mosquitoes which are biter or rester inside the houses. Now due to the pressure of the insecticide, now they are becoming exophilic, outdoor rester, outdoor biter. This is most important for malaria elimination or any other disease vectors. So mosquito behavior, insecticide resistance, these are applied topics actually. That will help your country for elimination of a malaria or other any other vector borne like kala jar. So if you have a sound knowledge on kala jar, basic and applied knowledge, and so your research work towards to the your towards to your country or
Absolutely.
elimination of the diseases. This should be a priority research. Otherwise, you
Mhm.
can take any topic for your own
Yep.
interest, but you should take a topic in the interest of your country or in the interest
Mhm.
of your community. So this is my
Absolutely.
priority for research. And if you ask me topic also, I can tell you so many topics about applied topics. My answer is applied topics must be there. which can be
Mhm.
used by the country, national authorities, national country programs, or research organizations also.
That
Like I
is
will give you
absolutely
example,
true.
recently Vector Control Research Center. I was a scientific advisory committee member of Vector Control Research Center and Malaria Research Center also. There I was giving this idea by kindly whatever you work on applied nature or which is applicable to national country program. So
Absolutely.
nowadays, Vector Control Research Center recently started on mite-borne disease, scrub typhus like that. Previously, they were
Mhm.
not working. So now they are
Mhm.
working on scrub typhus. So we have given an idea. And second
Mhm.
idea, I tell you, which I imparted to these old scientists, that like there is a insecticide impregnated papers of World Health Organization supplied from
Mhm.
Belgium to whole world. So
Mhm.
I request VCRC Pondicherry and NIN Institute of Malaria Research. Why we can prepare our own papers in India and we can validate through WHO. So why our dependency should be on a one institute in Malaysia? So now they are starting this impregnated papers for our own country, or they can supply to other countries also. These are some very typical things you can understand if you have already worked in your past work. So, like we are always preparing these impregnate papers through World Health Organization. Sometimes they are
Mhm.
giving, sometimes they are not giving. If they are not giving, so we have no insecticide resistance data in our country last many years. So some
So
countries
true.
facing such type of problems. So we should take such type of research which can be applied in field.
Absolutely. And I remember doing my PhD, as you mentioned about having those papers from Malaysia. University Science Malaysia is where we used to
Same,
get those
same.
papers
Malaysia,
all the
okay,
time.
right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right, right.
yeah. Absolutely.
So
No,
same
I think.
thing, same,
Hmm.
same thing as a SEC member. I was a SEC member of all ICMR organizations,
Mhm.
and so that time, this after my retirement, Director General of ICMR said, Dr. Sharma, kindly you guide our scientists also. I never worked in the research organization, but I
Mhm.
don't know why he was saying like that. So he gave me a post of adjunct professor in
Mhm.
ICMR. So
Mhm.
that time I was going to different research organizations and giving my idea how what type of research they can do it. So
Absolutely.
this was a
And
job also for me. This is
hmm.
job also. As ICMR adjunct professor, I did this job also.
And this is why we need experts like you in the field that the to support the ongoing research and also to guide them for new avenues, which, as you mentioned, translational research is now even more important than ever in world. There were days like decades ago when fundamental and foundational research was so important, and most of them were during that. But now, when we have so rich foundational information and then fundamental research has been done, now it is time to translate them to serve the society, as you mentioned, keeping the country as first and then do everything towards that. Next thing
Right.
which I would like to ask you, that you have seen when you were doing PhD, there were very limited opportunities for PhD, and then whosoever had that degree probably had job security or at least were able to get jobs. In current situation, what has been seen and observed, and this is true for India and some other countries also, developing nations specifically, the number of PhD pass outs is huge and the job opportunities for them are not there. How they should approach this situation if they are passionate about their research and want to do a PhD.
So now you have touched a very interesting topic. So I'm just telling you what is the ground reality in our country about entomologists. So previously, suppose there was a 15 post of entomologist in National Vector-borne disease control program, Delhi. And similarly, more than 13 posts of junior and senior entomologist in National Institute of Communicable Disease. And apart from these control programs, there were many posts in Malaria Research Center where I think you have experienced that also. So now these all entomologists have retired, so permanently. And in between, there was a gap. We have not filled up the post of in NVDCP or NICD or even NIMR. So as a adjunct professor of ICMR, I try my best to convince this Director General, sir, kindly fill up the post of entomologist in your ICMR version. He said, Dr. Sharma, what is this category? I then told that this is the most important category. So recently, last year, 18 posts of entomologists are filled up in ICMR.
Mhm.
They have recently created, not a creation, that is a originally post. That is already there in research organizations. Like VCRC, 4 posts are there, 5 posts are NIMAL, more than 6 posts were there. So now they started as a scientist B and fill up these posts. Regarding Government of India, National Vector Borne Disease Control Program and National Center for Disease Control, now they are trying to fill up these posts because posts are lapses. Last so many years we have not filled up these posts through Union Public Service Commission. So now we have satisfied these organizations also by this is a most important thing for malaria elimination or Kala Jar elimination or lymphatic fire elimination. If you have no qualified entomologist, how you will do this elimination? So now Government of India is also filling, and with National Vector Borne Disease Control also filling. This is the one question of gap in position as well as filling. So that was a one question before country. And after that, suppose ICMR ICMR recruited 18 entomologists recently. So these entomologists, they were doing PhD or they are working in some research organizations or in a control program. So similarly, positions are there. Question was they have not filled up the post. Posts are the if suppose there are and there is a dialogue everywhere. Entomologists are not there. These policymakers, they were saying entomologists are not there. We said, sir, entomologists are there. So many universities, they are producing entomologists. So there is no problem of entomologists. So now they are getting entomologists. Now with the help of these some partners in program, they have taken many entomologists. 8 or 10 entomologists are there on contract basis. Problem is the consultant. Consultant actually, their responsibility is different with regular entomologists. Today they are posted, they are working here. Tomorrow they are working somewhere. And that is not a problem of individual scientists because they get more money, so they are leaving from this place to that place. So now what you are saying, yes, that is a supply and demand. The demand is less, supply will also less. So this is like this. So demand is more, supply is less. I agree with you what you said, but some positions are there, no problem. Positions are there in private sector as well as government sector. So recently, many research scholars got these job positions in NVDCP also, NCTC also, and ICMR also. So this is the ground reality about this.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
problem and solutions both are there.
Absolutely. And that is how researchers approach to every problem, bringing the solutions for that. So, next question, which I would ask that, sir, you have seen that now the the restriction for PhD duration, like long back ago, it can be from anywhere from 3 to 7 years and sometimes even more, which was not very healthy, we can say. But now, having established protocols and there is so much of infrastructure, funding available for PhDs, still what we are seeing is students, after spending 2 or 3 years in their PhD, are dropping from their PhD, quitting those, and in the sad cases, there have been rise in suicides among PhD scholars also. This is also a big problem in front of our nation, how we should approach this problem and acknowledge it.
If that is such type of problem is there, I have not seen any suicide who is doing PhD or who didn't get the job because I have not noticed anyone who is doing PhD and he is facing some problem. The job I can accept, but during PhD, at present actually University Grant Commission clearly said you have to complete your PhD in 3 years. Okay, not 7 years, like 6 years. Now
Mhm.
University Grant Commission, that is rule regulations are there, and that is rule regulation not for research scholar, for guide also. So now they said
Mhm.
if your guide is retiring in 2 years or 3 years, he cannot take any research school. So that is
Mhm.
University Grant Commission's recent notification. If
Mhm.
suppose you are a guide, so that should be a 4 years must be there in your service. You can take
Mhm.
a research scholar. So whosoever doing in our entomology field, mostly they are getting jobs in private sector or government sector.
Mhm.
100% placement is not there. I agree. I agree. That
Mhm.
is everywhere. It is
Yeah.
everywhere. And what you touch this suicide topic actually really very. This is a very serious matter. And in our country, we are helping this all research scholars to get a job. And I have given this training like out. I said 18 entomologists in ICMR. Eight entomologists, I give training to eight entomologists for selection, and they have all selected. All were
Mhm.
working in the ICMR research organizations. So we are also helping them. Suppose there is a problem, so we are trying to help him to put in a place, either research organization or so. This situation like our country, so we are not facing maybe one case, two case. I actually that is not in my notice or not my report. Otherwise, that is a very bad thing. Being a
Mhm.
senior entomologist, that is our responsibility. We take as a responsibility also how we can help them.
Yes. So true. And
So
the
during our
part of yeah, part of the problem is like having this work life balance issues which was not there long back, but and now people are talking about it. How do you say that it is different for researchers who happen to be entomologists, that maintaining that work life balance? Because sometimes when it is the epidemic season, or it's like vector borne disease control program, if we are talking about during the monsoon, post monsoon, the vector population goes up high, and so there are some times when you have to be dedicating more time into field, whereas when it is like off season, or when it's like in winters, when you don't see a lot many case number of cases, or the vector is not there in higher populations, how they should maintain this work life balance also.
normally in every in capacity building to all these entomologists, we are advising them kindly work in non-transmission. If you work in non-transmission, you will get very less problem. This is our idea. Like dengue, take example of dengue Aedes aegypti mosquito, which breeds in containers. So we are advising them kindly work in non-transmission season. You kill the mother foci, you will not get any problem during transmission season. This is one advice you can say. And our mentors, they have never touched this such type of topics where you should work in non-transmission season. But we are saying that you work non-transmission, you will get very less problem after rainfall, after monsoon season. So this is a one very good idea, and many people they are following. They are working more hard work in during non-transmission season. So that is one thing. Technically, this is technical one. So we can say, but we are giving such type of knowledge to everybody in our country when we are teaching or we are taking any symposium, in symposium also, conference also. So everywhere at every platform we are saying, well, if you are working in the as a vector biologist, so kindly take this where whatever your place.
Absolutely.
So outbreak means blackout of surveillance. If there is no entomological surveillance and no epidemiological surveillance, you will get positively some problem there. So blackout of surveillance is the outbreak of malaria or outbreak any other vector-borne disease. The same principle we are giving such type of knowledge to, and we have given in our country particularly we have given to every malariologist, every vector biologist, every entomologist.
Absolutely. And I think this is a very important point for all the vector biologists, entomologists, that as Dr. Sharma mentioned, working actively, obviously, when it is a transmission season going on, everyone is on their toes. But do not
Right.
relax yourself when the non-transmission season is happening, because if you nip the evil in the bud, that ensures that during the transmission seasons, you'll get lesser and lesser of issues. Either it is of the vector population or it is about the transmission of the pathogens in the area. That is a wonderful idea, sir. Thank you so much for sharing that part. Now, the last point which I would like to ask you in this conversation is, based on your entire research career you have served country, one biggest challenge you have faced as a researcher and one biggest accomplishment you feel that served every second you have been working in research.
1996, there was a severe outbreak of dengue in our national capital of Delhi. 1996. 10,000 cases and more than 400 deaths were there. And I was a cross-checking officer for this disease in Delhi. So 1997, I advised municipal corporation, where this is a biggest failure for all of us because government of India institutions are there, ICMR research organization is also in Delhi. So being so many scientists, we fail to control this Aedes aegypti in Delhi itself. So 1997, what we did as a policy maker, I request to Commissioner of Corporation, kindly house to house surveillance for these mosquito vectors you should start. How we will start? Staff is not there, then put 3,000 these mosquito collectors in whole Delhi. In 12 zones are there, so every zone there may be a mosquito collector must be there. They should do regular surveillance during non-transmission season as well as transmission season. So after that, there was a no outbreak till 2024 to 2025. There is no outbreak of malaria as well as other vectors, because we are doing, like suppose you are doing surveillance for Aedes aegypti, that is a container breeder. So Anaphylaxis staphylococcus is also a container breeder which transmit urban malaria in cities, urban areas. So Anaphylaxis staphylococcus is also container breeder. Both are container. You are working for one vector species, so you are getting collateral benefit for other vector species also. Suppose you are controlling containers. So container means Aedes aegypti breeding and Anaphylaxis type breeding. So one mosquito you are working like putting BTI, Tamifos or other any insect growth regulators. So you are getting results. So after that, there was no outbreak of this disease in Delhi. So this is a, as a policymaker you can say, or as a controlling officer also, that was a one small achievement for me also. And what was your question?
About the challenges, the toughest challenge you
Challenge.
have faced as a researcher.
Second was in Kasargod in Kerala state. There was an outbreak of malaria in Kasargod district of Kerala state. So first time, this was a talk of 90s. So when I went there from Delhi, so I was not aware how disease transmission is going on that area, because there was no record of Anaphylaxis staphylococcus as a vector in Kerala state. So there was no malaria organization. There was no district malaria office, no malaria organization in Kerala state, because previously there was no vector-borne disease in Kerala state. So first time when we also observed first time, but this is a problem. So with me there was a epidemiologist also. One our medical doctor, he was a epidemiologist. He asked me, Dr. Sharma, parasitic load in the community from his point of view may be there, but what about mosquito vectors? He asked me this thing. So I take 2-3 days to search what is going on from entomological side. So I got a breeding of Anaphylaxis staphylococcus in Wales. So first time I see the breeding of Anaphylaxis in Wales. So then we will take this larval population as well as adult population. Then we will go to sporozoites in this adult vectors. So I said this disease is caused by Anaphylaxis staphylococcus. This is malaria. Now second problem is that there is no malaria organization, no laboratory. So how we can say confirm malaria cases, Vivax or falciparum? So then we take slides. We went to Mangalore. Mangalore is nearby Kasargod district. Mangalore, I arranged with some my friend. So then he told that this is a falciparum malaria, and this is a positive malaria slides. So sometimes it happens in life, really very big challenge, and how we came to a conclusion. This is
Yes,
one time episode with us, and there are so many actually in experience. There are so many things are there.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So many things.
Thank you
But
so
it's a
much, sir.
technical one.
Yeah,
Technical.
absolutely. Having these technicalities is what makes all of us as researchers, and with keeping the nation's interest first is
Yeah.
what keeps us motivated after all those challenges, all those troubleshootings. With this, we'll say to all the audience, if you want to write to Dr. Sharma, you can write to him. If you want STEM for Society to put you in touch with our researcher celebrities, we are there to support you, to help you, to guide you, to mentor with our expert researchers, celebrities. And we would like to say special thanks to Dr. Sharma for taking time out, having this conversation with us. And I'm sure that more information that now vector biologists will feel more passionate about what they do and will be getting help from this conversation. Thank you so much, sir, for taking time out.
Thank you very much. And if anything is needed, so I will provide literature or some research publications or some technical guidance. So I am anytime all are free. Your audience is free, and you give my email also to everybody. So no problem. That is your responsibility. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Kushal.
Thank you so much, sir. For all the audience, stay tuned for another episode of Researchers Celebrity.